Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
All right, welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast.
Kevin's eyes look insane, but he's got new hair. Virginia is a witch, and she farts in her chair. Jason is a spaz who's got an old man's ass. Welcome to the After the Show podcast.
Okay, hello and welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast. Yep, on Wednesday. What the heck is going on? Big old Holy Week here. I think there's a Holy Thursday and a Holy Monday, too, to go along with it.
Oh, that's a lot of holy.
Holy shit.
That's right.
Easter Monday, they call it.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and what's that supposed to be about?
I don't know. I didn't realize that there was so much.
Are we just making shit up because it's modern day times?
It's in my calendar. Easter Monday falls on the same day as Tax Day, April 18th.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go.
Do you guys buy presents for your kids for Easter, or is that
I do baskets.
with toys and shit?
Not as much toys as candy.
Okay.
We do lots of chocolates, and we do an egg hunt.
Yeah, my wife loves gifts, and so, yeah, the kids typically get a lot of stuff. It looks like a mini Christmas sometimes. They get a couple gifts. So
Yeah,
she usually does that.
I always like that, getting a gift or two during those kind of holidays. I think my parents end up doing that. You get a little toy or something. Oh, Easter's fun.
Yeah.
And, of course, you know, the good stuff that comes with Easter.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so that's going to be going on here this week.
Cadbury eggs suck, though.
Not a fan of that.
I think they suck.
But the peanut butter egg is a star.
Completely different. You're right. That's in a different league than a Cadbury egg, man. It chokes out your neck. It gives me what I call hot neck.
Like you're eating fiberglass.
Yeah, man. It chokes. I can't breathe.
And they make the new Reese's peanut butter mini eggs. Don't get those. Don't even come with that crap. You better get a full size egg, the big one.
They're making some of these candy eggs as big as Kevin's head. How was that Walmart?
Yeah.
I think they have an egg. I think it's a Snickers egg. It's bigger than Kevin's head.
I love it.
Because we all need more, don't we?
I know. I mean,
Just what we all need.
how much candy do we need?
Yeah. We always like to wrap up things that were going on in the regular show before we got out of here. There was a story about a Tik Tok divorce lawyer, and she was talking about 5 professions where you seem to have narcissistic behavior and they have messier divorces. Pilots was in there, military was in there, police, firefighters, you know, some of the ones, and some texts that came in about that we didn't get to in the regular show. One text says, my husband was an Army infantryman and is now a sheriff's deputy, and I can see from his coworkers why this lady would say these particular men are more conceited and narcissistic. But we need to remember that cops aren't put on a pedestal anymore, and a lot of military divorces start with a cheating spouse who can't handle deployment back at home. Her thoughts are a little one-sided.
But she also knows what she's doing. She's getting on TikTok, firing all these fuckers up.
Totally.
Getting shares, getting likes. Hate equals shares, Virginia.
I know.
Someone else agreed with the TikTok divorce attorney saying, yes, I agree, because women throw themselves at firefighters and cops. I work with them. I see it firsthand how many cheat and then treat their spouse as if they're wrong. Not to say they're all like this, but yes, I would say a large group. Okay. And somebody else, absolutely, 100%. She hit the nail on the head. So there's a lot of people agreeing with her.
But there's some other professions in there, too, you could throw in.
Sure, but she just said that's her top 5. So that's what she listed as her top 5. Somebody else texted in and said, to say it's a control thing and specifying men is annoying. Women can be just as bad in any of those fields, but men are more likely to have those careers than women. I feel like that's a better way of saying it.
Yeah, there are women, too, that cheat and step out and like to throw it. Just like dudes like to throw it.
Mm-hmm. So there you go. So
I know Virginia wants to make it.
Yeah, but it's usually the men.
She wants to make it that all men are evil and only men cheat and do horrific shit.
All men are not evil, just most of them.
Yeah.
We're also talking about somebody who got a promotion, and then the person they got the promotion over claims that they put a curse on them, but it seemed to have worked because since then they lost their girlfriend, their car was stolen, they had a whole bunch of expenditures pop up.
Damn.
And so one person in the chat room earlier had said you need to put your blood on a raw egg and then crack the egg while burning sage, and that will help you get rid of the curse. Somebody else texted in and said to get rid of a curse, you need to wrap 1 twig of fresh thyme, 2 eyelashes, 1 to 4 leaves of clover, and 1 unbroken chicken wishbone. Carry this with you for 24 hours, then roll up a shower slide and stick it in your butt. Curse gone.
Yeah. I think people are just making shit up.
Roll up a shower slide and put
Yeah.
it in your butt.
That was from another call we had.
That was from a call. Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah. And Cynthia said, yeah, I've actually smudged my home to get those shadow people away who were bugging my husband out, and it does seem to work for about 6 months at a time, but then they come back.
It's so funny. I got a message during that time that said, yeah, we smudged your house and it did absolutely nothing. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I got a message during the show.
Dang. Yeah, who knows? Who knows?
Who knows? My question always is what is it you bringing that kind of energy? You know, if Virginia says, I got a person that can smudge your house and you're not going to feel any of the, is that me just going, okay, I've got this placebo effect working? Or does it really work?
Yeah, who knows? But if placebo and if mind control play into it at all, why not? Why not smudge yourself and see if you feel like the curse goes away?
From a certain point of view, whether it works or not, but you perceive it working, it did work.
Exactly. Perception is reality.
Yeah.
A lot of times it is. A lot of times
it is.
Well, there's that weird stat. Only 8% of the things you've ever worried about in your life are going to ever come true. But yet we worry about all this other shit that never even comes close to happening.
All day.
I know.
All I do is worry.
Got an email here. We're talking about negative and positive energies, and LL Cool J put out the positives. Leanna said, y'all know LL Cool J gave out his number on TikTok here, asking for positive vibes to be sent. How awesome is that?
He gave out his phone number?
It says hit me up, and it's a 917 number. They sent in the photo. So I guess, I don't know if that's actually the phone he's trying to use all day. I think that'd be very annoying because the calls have got to be coming in nonstop.
Huh.
But, maybe it's just a number that he had. And he said, yeah, do it. And every now and then he checks in with the messages or has somebody check in and be like, hey, give me some positivity.
Someone tells me he's got an alternate number. Just from a guy who's put his number on the air on this program.
I feel that.
That's not the number that his mama calls?
I don't think it is. I could be wrong.
I'd be very shocked. You're right. Got an email from Cosimo who said, I was listening to the podcast. You guys were talking about the families on the side of the road. I guess the ones playing the
violin.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I saw another one yesterday.
Did you?
In a van off of Indiantown Road, and it was him and his kid. And his kid was like on a bicycle, kind of going up and down the little sidewalk area.
They made the bicycle look shitty.
Yeah, the bicycle did look a little shitty.
Well, that's part of you can't have a good-looking bicycle.
No.
That hurts the whole cause.
Mm-hmm. It said, yes, the people that you see, they're not homeless. It's just a scam. A lot of them have cars parked to the side. I've seen it a ton in Delray and Fort Lauderdale. Even some of the individual panhandlers aren't homeless. My coworker has a cousin who goes out during the day to panhandle, makes like $300 a day, and then goes home. On a side note, I'm a guy, and I had long hair my whole life, and it's awesome to see Jay Bird staying strong with the long hair. So
thank you, my friend.
Approves.
We're few, but I appreciate the support.
Yeah.
Stand tall.
Mm-hmm. But you got to change your name to something like Cosimo, so maybe like a Moondog or something like that.
I don't hate it.
Okay.
Moondog Pennington.
Yeah.
I don't hate that.
Kind of a nice ring.
I was almost Jason Blue, and my sister Becky was almost Sunkissed. My parents were hippies, dog.
Yeah.
They were. Apparently so.
Yeah.
But they didn't want Jason Blue because of the jokes.
Because they can't give you
Well,
exactly.
Jason just blew that guy, or Jason just blew.
Jason Blue.
There would have been jokes.
Right.
But there was jokes with Jason P.
Imagine if you had two middle names like they do to British royalty. It was like Jason Blue Mark.
Exactly.
You'd be like, what? Jason Blue Mark Pennington? What has he done? Can you imagine calling that out the first day of school? Jason Blue, Mark Pennington. What?
Jason Blue, Mark Pennington. Who is this Mark Pennington?
That'd be tough. That'd be a tough one to live down, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Tracy said, I just remembered Bird had asked me to remind him about a conversation we had at Crazy Horse on St. Patrick's Day. He wanted to get into an on-air discussion about school district employees being able to have a marijuana card. Or would that still be against school district policy?
Well, yeah, let's say you're a teacher and you're a responsible teacher. You're crushing it. You're making all of your goals and you want to smoke some weed when you get home and you have a card. Is that okay to have?
Nobody deserves weed more than teachers that want it.
Because I think, isn't that a rule? You're not allowed to get your card? I think that would be why I'd want to have the conversation. She might have told me you're not allowed to have the card if you're an educator.
Maybe, and private schools might have their own rules too, depending upon if she's public or private.
Private does have their own rules on all that kind of shit.
Yeah, my thing basically with anything in life is we try to regulate all these adult behaviors. And to me, why even mess around with regulating that? Regulate the consequences and the outcomes that happen. Be like, you know what? If you want to smoke weed, go ahead. If you want to bang other adults, go right ahead. But if you're screwing around and you don't have your shit together at school, then that's going to be a problem. And we'll come down on that. But yeah, you know what? Do what you want to do. But you know that you're responsible for your actions and behavior, and you'll have to pay the consequences of that. So, America. That's it, man. Don't tell me how to live my life.
Give me a break. Weed? I see some of these teachers getting turned up on wine night. They need to put the bottle down and pick up the fucking blunt.
They have earned a blunt.
I mean, if you're allowing them to get sloshed on Tuesday wine night, why can't they smoke a blunt every now and then?
You spend 20 minutes with 15 first graders and tell me you don't need a little narcotic.
Oh, most teachers I've ever known, they like to hit the fucking bottle, and they like to not hit the bottle, they like to hit it hard, and I don't blame them. When I was working at the baseball camp, by Friday, working with kids out in the hot sun, you would be running to the bar and all right, I'll take a bottle of that and a bottle because you have to get responsibility for all these little younglings, and then you can't talk back to them, get all this rage built up.
You can't tell them to fuck off, which that is a travesty.
I get why they go to the bottle.
Some of them deserve to be told to fuck off.
Oh, there are kids absolutely that need a good go fuck yourself, kid. Sorry.
Solid right in your face.
I got at any given point at least one in my house.
They'll bounce back. The world will go on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's my take. I don't know what the rules are on it. It is federally still illegal. That's what Corey's saying. The federal law is over the state law, and I've seen that. And I know we talked about how there was something that I think it was the House had passed something that looked good as far as that, but they say the Senate or one of the two, I can't remember, was still not going to get it. Hopefully it does happen soon, because I do find it really ridiculous. And like I said, I favor pretty much letting adults make their own choices.
Of course.
Let them live.
Because they're grown-ups, and it shouldn't be so ridiculously skewed that we allow alcohol and not pot.
Well, it just doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
Well, because I've done both, and I like both. Alcohol is, in my opinion, it turns you into a fucking monster.
Yeah,
it can turn you into a monster.
Yeah. Well, my dad, he's a staunch Republican, loves him some Ronald Reagan, and he always tells me, he's like, Ronald Reagan used to always say, the government is there to protect its citizens, not tell them how to live their lives. And I was like, yeah, okay, I can side with you on that, Pops.
Kevin?
Protect me. Don't tell me I can't do what I want to do when I'm sitting in my house.
Right.
Kevin's a Republican.
There's some Republican policies I like. There's some Democratic policies I like. I sit in the middle.
You can like things that the different parties say. You don't have to be one party or the other.
Yeah, I've heard more about that. And
it's so dumb.
I did hear a real quick discussion on that, and they were saying, I don't know, the most damning thing that we have right now about politics in America, one, you can't talk about without people getting pissed, and two is the fact that people think that they've got to ascribe to every belief of their political party, and that to me is asinine, and that's why I'm independent, because there's not a political party that I'm like, yeah, I like a few things that you guys say, I like a few things that you guys say, and I want to do a carte blanche with my politics, not, you don't tell me how to believe on every policy.
I think there's a lot of people like that. I think it hasn't been really in the media where there's more of a hybrid of opinions like that, where you can be a person that has Republican views, you have Democratic views. It wasn't sexy enough. It didn't have the fighting that it needed. Although I do think that there is there's a hole there that there's people that want that kind of content now. They want to see people kind of bridging together a bit. There's so much opposite and fighting with everything. It's a little draining for some people, like myself, like y'all. We don't like a lot of that fighting shit.
No.
It's draining.
Well, and what I don't like is I like to hear people that I don't agree with. Because you know what? They might say something and be like, okay, now I see your point of view on that. I might feel more inclined to believe you do. If you're yelling at me and telling me I'm a moron, I'm not going to like what you have to say. But if we're having a calm discussion about it, I might learn something and I might change my policy on it a little bit, or at least understand your position that I don't agree with.
It's like Chili's and Duffy's. They both have great menu items, but I wouldn't say I like everything at Duffy's or I like everything at Chili's. I can pick a little bit of Chili's and a little bit of Duffy's.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I don't
you love that?
I don't love all of Cheesecake's menu, but I do. But I love Cheesecake the restaurant.
Right, and I can pick a little bit of cheesecake stuff, and then I can say a little bit of Chili's stuff, but I should be able to free think on individual policy and individual ideas.
But to your point, we're at least on the media, social media, in the media, we live in a time where it's either you're with my fucking side or you're not. It's all or nothing. And human beings can have multiple opinions on one subject you're talking about. You can be for something and also against something within that same topic. You can have multiple thoughts on things. You also can change your mind as a human.
Totally.
Which I guess you're not allowed to do that. If you change your mind, I don't know.
You can grow and evolve. What's that?
Yeah, you should. Yeah, hopefully one day we'll get there and it'll open back up again.
I think we are forward thinking. I think you're going to see more and more people be independent or no party affiliation.
I'm not claiming I'm forward thinking on anything. I just know it's in my heart and soul. And I just know people that I talk to in my life of all walks of earth, a lot of people don't want to fight about Democrat, Republican. They would like to see more of people coming together, even if they don't agree. Because a lot of times, a lot of this shit doesn't even fucking matter. You're fighting with your uncle, he's fighting with the aunt about shit that's never going to change under their watch anyway.
I wonder what America would be like if we had no political parties. What would that be like? Would we be so grouped the way we are now in our beliefs, or would we be more free-form thinking and saying that I do believe in some policies here on the right, some on the left, some in the middle, whatever it might be? Just wondering. I feel like it's one of the worst things for our country is political parties. I wish we'd get rid of all of them, actually.
We're at a time where we're obsessed of being right.
Yeah.
Even when you're not right.
Yeah.
I'm not right a lot. Just ask the chat room. Angie helping us out here. We were talking yesterday about places you can get fried pickles, and she wanted to remind us Buffalo Wild Wings has them. And they might. That sounds like they would. I'm not sure that I've ordered them there. The one thing that they had those the cauliflower bites. And, man, I got those a couple times. The buffalo cauliflower.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and the buffalo wing sauce. Oh, my gosh.
It is good. I'm not a big cauliflower fan. If it's too hard, it grosses me out. But there's a way when they cook it, it's soft. It almost tastes like chicken. It feels like chicken almost.
If they char it on the outside and then still have a little bit of moisture and it's soft on the inside, I love that.
I don't like to feel like I'm biting into a cauliflower back. You know what I mean?
They do amazing things anymore. My Ideal Nutrition, they were doing a shepherd's pie.
Ooh.
Is a keto shepherd's pie. And I'm like, how can you do that? I'm like, you can't do mashed potatoes. And I was eating it, and I have had the meal maybe 4 or 5 times. Like, it was so good. And then I realized on about the 5th time, I'm like, well, that ain't mashed potatoes. That's cauliflower.
Yeah, they do cauliflower rice now.
I was like,
they
what
do
the
everything.
hell, man?
And it's got the texture of rice or the texture of mashed potatoes. And it fills you like a carb.
Yeah.
Cauliflower's really made a big move in the last 5 years.
It has.
Or the last 10 years.
It's the new
crazy.
Spinach.
Yeah.
Spinach it had a run too.
It did.
Yeah. Just some crazy stuff. So, yeah, to open my eyes. Got an email here from Caitlin. She said, I'm a listener for the last 3 years, and I feel fairly up to date on all of your most notorious stories. But yesterday, you mentioned one that I'd never heard before, something about Virginia's mother-in-law in a war on the shore. What is that all about?
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
So this is many, many years ago. This is my first marriage. My first husband, we were only married for a couple years, and we were only together for a couple years. We were separated longer than we were married, I think. So
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
it
was
wasn't
pretty quick.
It wasn't good quick.
Yeah, it wasn't good quick. Yeah.
It actually turned to shit when I was still pregnant. So that tells you how bad it was. We got married in December. I was pregnant when we got married, and in February, shit hit the fan while I was pregnant. Magnolia was born in May. So before Magnolia was even here, I was like, I've got to get away from this individual. This is not going to work out. And his mother never liked me, but she never liked anybody. I don't take it personal.
Okay. Miserable for everyone, huh?
She makes his new wife miserable.
But she always had a kind of like a side comment about stuff that was starting to get under your skin.
Always.
I remember that was building up inside of you.
It built and built for a while, and she would always make digs at me about my parenting or the way I didn't clean the house right and this and that and whatever. After a while, though, you know, when you have to be around somebody and they keep digging and they keep digging, eventually things are going to come to an head.
All you need is a bad day and a cocktail.
Yeah.
So it was Christmas. Magnolia was, you know, however old she was. If she was born in May and this is Christmas, she was not even a year yet. And I was holding Mags, and we had just come back from the Nutcracker, and I had a few champagnes in me, and she said something, and then I was like, oh yeah, and I said something back. Who knows? I don't even remember what was said.
Yeah.
But that was it. She had it with me and my smart mouth, and she was going to show me. And she charged me like a rhinoceros.
Oh, my goodness.
She put her head down. Now, my husband at the time wasn't even there, I don't think.
Before this happened, was there any talk of, motherfucker, you want a piece of this? Yeah, I want a piece of Was it that kind of thing?
It never got to that. It never
So
had
she
gotten to that.
She just charged you.
It was always just her side digs, and it was always me just being like, this bitch.
No, I'm saying right before she charged you, was she letting on to, bitch, I'm coming at you right now, or she just out of the blue charged you?
No, she said something, and then I said something, and then she said something back and charged me as she was saying it.
Okay.
So it happened in like 30 seconds. From the time that the comments started to the time that she charged me with her head down like a rhinoceros, doing the windmill like this.
Yeah.
Like she's going to hit me, but
just
I
throwing
mean,
haymakers.
anybody who knows anything about landing a punch, it's really hard to do when your head is down.
It's not a good
and
defensive
your arms
move.
are going in a windmill. So she just came at me. I just clocked her. But, I mean, it was literally self-defense.
How solid was the hit, and where did you connect?
I was holding a baby, so it wasn't even that solid of a hit.
So I'm gonna stand. I'm gonna act like I'm your mother-in-law. I'm gonna start to do the windmill. So this is how she charged you, like
Yes.
this. Okay, I'm coming in like this, and you go,
Bam!
now. Okay, wow.
Right to the jaw.
Did she fall down?
She fell back into her husband, who had jumped up, and then he jumped up and grabbed me and let her continue to hit me. So then I am like being restrained, and she's continuing to try to hit me in the face and neck.
Did that even hurt?
No. She was like 4'3" or something.
You can't hurt the Raging Cajun.
Not at that point. I mean, she's...
And it's probably more than a couple champagnes, let's be honest. You're at the theater having a good time.
No, I think the sun was still out.
That's never stopped
Wow. Hey, that's true. What does that mean? What does that
you. We
mean?
put you to bed at Bigfoot's wedding and the sun was still up.
You're right. No, because I remember everything vividly. It wasn't like it was... a alcohol-induced situation at all.
Okay.
Because I was stunned. I couldn't believe it.
So funny, I've heard that story maybe 9 or 10 times. I love it every time.
It's an amazing story.
It's one of the stories I can always hear. If you ever go camping, I want you to tell that to all the camper people.
But then soon after that, the relationship, just fell apart because
Oh, really?
the mother was very involved and
I'm surprised it didn't grow.
I couldn't get out of there fast enough. I got my own apartment and we started, sharing custody of Magnolia.
Okay. So that was really kind of the beginning of the end then.
I never should have got married. I made a big mistake. I did that thing that I thought you were supposed to do when you're pregnant is get married because you can't have a baby out of wedlock. I'm Catholic and I didn't want to disappoint my mom and my grandmother. It was a stupid decision that I made. Mm-hmm. And I should have just had Magnolia, bought my own frickin' condo, which I was going to do right before I moved in with my ex. I was about to buy my own little condo. I was going to do my own thing.
Okay.
And I had a plan, and I don't know what happened. I went the wrong way. When life said go right or left, I went right, and I should have gone left.
The obstacle, you had an obstacle, then the obstacle became the way.
It's okay to be a single parent. It's okay to not be married and be a parent. It's not okay to get married and then put yourself into a world of problems and legal drama and craziness and allow somebody to change your happy for many, many years.
You had Magnolia in your hands.
Yeah.
I don't think I knew that. Is that a new detail?
I did, and I think at some point then she wasn't in my hands anymore. Like somebody took her from me.
Hold my baby. I got to punch his bitch.
No, I think whoever took Mags to protect Mags. But
man, what a story!
Yeah, it was wild, bruh.
Dang. Now, when is the last time you had a face-to-face conversation with this woman?
So what I used to do is have no interaction with her whatsoever because she wrote me this big long letter. She wanted to make amends. She wanted She wanted us to sit down and break bread and get over it. And I just decided I'm not letting crazy back in. I can't.
Okay, yeah, right.
When somebody goes to that level, and then it built to that. Like, I couldn't believe how dramatic they were, and the screaming and the yelling, and it's just how they were. It's just their family. That's not how I was raised. I was raised very conservatively. Nobody yelled like that in my house ever, and they did on the reg. And I just didn't want to be around that. And I knew I was getting divorced, and I knew I was going to be separated soon. I had no room for any of that. So I ignored all the reconciliation letters. And then when I refused to reconcile with her, then she went back to that I'm just a bitch and a whore and whatever else. And the last time I saw her was Easter Sunday a few years ago. Panda was driving, and I said, let me just get in the back seat. And with the windows up and the tinted windows, she won't see me. But, of course, she had shit to say, and she starts yelling at me through the window.
No way.
We're in front of the Catholic Church, and I'm calling her every name in the book.
What does she have to say
car.
to you now? Are you serious?
Yeah, they like to fight. They like to fight.
How does she start it? What does she have to say to you about anything?
Some snide remark about either, how I dressed Magnolia. I don't even remember. There always was something nasty. It couldn't just be a drop-off and a drive-away because she's mad that I won't give her what she thinks she deserves, which is a sit-down, an apology, where we'll all be good again. And I don't need that. I don't want that.
Yeah.
When crazy shows themselves, I say bye.
Hear me out as a promoter. Don Burger King. War on the Shore. Part 2. That would be, the views on that thing. If we could get you guys to have the sequel, your Rocky 2 moment.
I'm so past having to have anything to do with that family. It's great now because Magnolia drives herself.
Yeah.
She can go to and from all these functions that I would have to drive her to and have the chance encounter of running into them. And so I'd have to hide in the back seat of my own car.
Isn't that the worst function, like shitty functions you kind of are obligated to go to?
Yeah. Like holidays, I would have to drop her off and drive all the way to her dad's house. And I don't have to do any of that anymore because she drives herself. And so it'd be pointless to have any kind of face-to-face because, I don't need it.
I have to go to some of those shitty functions where you just can't. It's one of those we all have to go through, where it's one of those things you can't get out of, and you have to do it to be polite. And always, if it's one of those situations where you know it's just going to be awful and shitty and not fun, it really bums me out, man. I'm in a pissy mood right before. I gotta get myself up for something like that. That sucks, man.
So we got a question here that somebody had just texted in. Let's say Magnolia got pregnant. How would you handle it? Would she be able to make her own decisions? Would you encourage her to get married? What kind of call would you make? How involved would you be if this happened, Virginia?
Great question. I don't know. I mean, I would really want Mags to dictate how it would go down. I would want her to be able to make her own choices. I would definitely have her leaning towards the side of not getting married. I've been putting that in her ear for many years already.
Okay, good.
I've already told her that, she needs to focus on her career and, dating different people and going different places and experiencing life and going to a big university and joining all the clubs. And I don't think that marriage should happen when you're in your 20s, and she knows that.
Shit, people put you on the hot seat. They now want to know, Virginia, who did you vote for last president during the election? No, let's get really let's put you on the hot seat. I know too many things about y'all. We're in the KVJ mafia together.
Blood in, blood out, Kevin.
Oh yeah.
If you want out, it's going to be curtains.
You get out in a coffin.
Again, I've been watching a lot of Sopranos lately.
I love Sopranos. If you have to go confront anybody about anything, watch a Sopranos episode before you do.
That's how you do it.
I highly recommend it because it puts you in the frame of mind to put a hurtin'.
I can tell it's kind of annoying some people. I've been watching it so much. I've been binge watching it, and you start. At least I do. I start to always kind of adapt or adopt things from the show.
You feel like you are Tony Soprano.
I know I'm Italian, but I'm a little bit more Italian these days. Yeah, with the gabagoo.
Because of Sopranos.
Definitely.
The gabagool and the galama.
I mean, they are so fucking Italian in that. It reminds me a lot of my family.
Mm-hmm. And I guess we have another salacious story here. Virginia, did you hear that Jaybird had sex in the elevator here at work?
These fucking rumors that get started. First of all, that never happened.
Whatever. I hope it did.
But look at, how could someone even do that? Do you remember working with a guy named...
Let me show you.
Do you remember working with a guy named Kenny?
Suits! Go in the elevator with Kevin and bend over.
We'll be back in a minute. Trust me, it doesn't take long.
Do you remember working with a guy named Kenny that worked here a long time ago?
Kenny. Which station?
Here. During this cluster, in the beginning of working at WRMF.
There was a Kenny on the air here?
No, I don't think he was on the air. This is coming from a guy named Kenny. That I don't know. This is secondhand information. Someone said, I heard you had sex in the elevator at your work. I was shooting the shit with some people that I know, and they were regurgitating a story. And I go, what? They go, well, Kenny, the guy that you used to work with, said this. I go, who the fuck is Kenny, first of all? And then I said, second of all, that's not true at all. Not even close to being true.
No.
Yeah.
Kenny.
Yeah, I don't know a Kenny.
I think you'd remember a Kenny. That's not a name you run into every day.
Well,
now, did Kenny say you banged him in the elevator?
No.
That's juicy.
Saying I banged somebody that we worked with here, which is...
Did they say who you banged?
Yes.
They did.
They did.
Okay.
Was it somebody you were dating?
I don't want to get into too many details out of respect. Out of respect for people.
Okay.
Because people are, they've moved on with their life. I'm not trying to...
You did. Right. You dated a girl that we worked with before, so you and her in the elevator is what Kenny is telling.
And I swear to you on everything, that never even came close to happening. But it's just crazy that that's even out there. Huh.
Kenny.
Who the fuck is this Kenny?
Right, who is this Kenny? He's going around spreading all these lies.
Hey, Denny.
I love it.
Denny's. Do you remember a Kenny's?
Are you sure they weren't saying Denny's instead of Kenny's?
Yeah.
Damn, Denny's been telling people you've been banging in the elevator?
No, it's definitely not Denny's. But I like
Do we have a Lenny around here too? I mean, what the hell?
I like how Kenny's so similar to Denny.
Didn't we work with a DJ chick whose last name was Kenny?
Maybe that's what it is.
We did.
Oh.
Blonde hair chick. Her last name was Kenny.
I mean,
Tiffany Kenny?
People...
No, I know Tiffany Kenny. She would not say that.
No,
She would know. What a rumor, though, huh?
Yeah.
I swear to you, I'd tell you all the truth. I really would.
Okay.
Virginia would have already known that
Okay.
behind the scenes.
Jeannie. Was Jeannie's last name Kenny?
Jeannie. Who the fuck is Jeannie?
Was it Benny? Because we did have Benny's on the beach in here. Were they spreading the rumors?
Did you hook up with somebody from Benny's on the beach?
No, I can confirm that didn't have it either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, our CEO is Jenny. Was it Jenny?
Oh, Kevin.
If you would bang the boss, I'd be so happy.
Is that good or bad? I even stop with the topic. It's fine, not a good topic.
I
get it
feel
on
like
the record.
it'd be good for us.
Would it though?
Well, you talk about what a workhorse you are. Let's see.
Not that. Let's take Jenny out of the equation. Let's just put boss in general.
How would you handle it, Virginia, if the elevator door is open and Bird is banging her CEO?
Oh
what
my
do
gosh.
You do?
I would excuse myself and I'd go in the corner and be like, yes.
Do you act like, excuse me, and just walk away? Or you just kind of turn? I think I would just be like, okay, I think I would just turn around and walk as fast as I could in an opposite direction.
And as you're going down the hall, give it to her good, Bird.
I mean, honest question.
Yeah.
Insert any boss here.
Insert what?
Does it help or hurt our show if Bird's banging the boss?
I don't think it can ultimately be good.
I'm with Kevin. I
Because-
think it only can end in. I'd have to either get married and
Well, you know.
with the boss.
Yeah, and
If
you
it's
know,
a flame-
you seem a little resistant to marriage.
Well, think
and
about
long-termers.
the perks, though, while you're hitting it.
But the perks, as you know, they dry up.
I don't know. We've never
But
this banged the boss.
It could be. I mean, if you guys kept it casual and you were just like, "Hey, this is purely sex," it could
Yeah.
actually be good for us. If you're like, "Hey, look, you know, this will last as long as it lasts, and when it's over, it's over. Let's have fun." That actually could be good for us.
You're just a boy toy for
Yeah.
her. She
That
doesn't
could be
want
fun.
anything serious.
If both adults could be mature about the situation, I think it
Yeah.
could be good for our show. But we know how these things end.
She doesn't want anything serious. She's all these female
Yeah.
bosses here. They are women of a certain age.
Yeah.
They're not looking to get married to some twink. They don't want you for that. They want you for one thing and one thing only.
And twink for me is short for Twinkie body.
You're a young guy comparatively.
Not that young.
You just have to give it to them good.
Yes.
Dog.
Yeah.
I mean, you need to lay
Don't
it
let us down.
Come on now.
Yeah.
We're talking about game time here.
Yeah.
I'll step up to the plate.
All
Yeah.
of our salaries depend on it.
They used to call me Clutch Pennington.
Yeah.
For the big moments.
Yeah. And if I hear the elevator going up and I hear, I'll be like, all right, it's going well for KVJ.
Either that or Kevin's banging suits.
Yeah. Well, if we ever hear that, either Suits is getting banged or something's going on with Suits.
What a day that would be, huh? Wow.
I hope they never listen to this podcast.
Okay, how do you react differently, Virginia, if the elevator doors open up and I'm banging suits?
Yes, much differently.
Okay.
I'm like, Kevin, get off of him. What are you doing?
But he's like, no, please don't.
Okay,
It's just like, no, let him finish.
what would be weirder for you? You open up the elevator and Kevin is banging Suits or Kevin's banging me? Which harder for you to do a show?
I think Kevin banging you.
Because the whole time, me and Kevin are
Yeah.
secure with it.
Absolutely.
We're able to move forward, and we're not kind of act like it never happened.
It's a power move with Suits, and I'm like, Kevin, what are you doing?
Oh, you think I'm taking advantage of him?
You're taking advantage
there's
of Suits.
There's no way Suits actually does want it.
But with me and Kevin, you think it's something deeper.
I think it might be carnal. You guys finally consummated.
And is that
How
good?
long have you had sexual tension?
Is that good or bad for the show?
Years,
I think that's bad for
decades
the
almost.
bad for the show. I
It's
think.
bad for the show. It's
Yeah, that would probably be bad for the show. Who do we bang? Is it good or bad for the show?
Moral of the story:
Guys, I guess I want you to bang Denny's.
leave it in your pants if you're at work.
Bosses could be good. I'm not rooting that out, but I think any of us banging is probably bad.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree.
But it could work. So I'm not fully against you banging a boss.
And what if it
It
wasn't
happens,
just
it
banging?
happens.
What if it was just straight up? Never mind.
Getting a blowjob.
Just straight up 69. You know what I was going to say.
yeah,
Look,
anything-
come on.
anything
I'm
sexual.
equal opportunist over here.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know. It's a fascinating thing to think about.
And again, just
So
insert
you're,
boss here.
You're
Any
doing
boss.
69, but stand up 69 in the elevator.
Okay, he does not have that kind of balance.
How do you know that I'm?
God,
I'm
that
the
would be
one-
so unreal.
She's holding
How do you
you?
know I'm the
Oh,
one-
shit.
How do you know I'm the one lifting? Sometimes my body just turns to jelly.
Oh my gosh, that visual.
I feel like I'd be more secure with the safety
shit.
of our boss if she was holding you.
I'd be like, wow, man, that would be so unbelievable.
Look,
I think I'd have to high five you on the way up. Be like, that's impressive, dog.
I'm not over here trying to act or sound cool. I don't have a very good upper body strength, so I'm fine with being the rag doll.
So you're the upside down.
Totally cool with it, dog.
You could be an Aerosmith song twice.
Rag doll. Living in the movies.
Loving an elevator.
Gosh, that would be unbelievable. And you know what? I would walk away being like, I will never in my life see something more amazing than what I just witnessed right now.
If you're going to do it, can you do it in the service elevator and not the main one? Because the service elevator, I feel like, is the better one to bang
It
in.
goes slow, but the Queen farted in there one time, and I'm just not sure it's still aired out.
It's ruined the atmosphere for me. Anytime I have to go in that elevator, it's always go, oh man, this is the Queen fart elevator. Like a murder scene.
It's still, I go in there, and it was years ago, and I still am like, oh, I think I still smell it.
Kevin, it was when we first got here. We're talking 7 years ago,
Yeah.
and it's still very fresh. The memory.
They've repainted it.
They had
to.
It's just not enough.
It never moved that slow before.
No, it's just not enough. Wow. I got a lot to think about today.
Yeah, you do.
Wow. All right. Interesting stuff.
We want to thank our friends at Atoll Vodka. They are working overtime over there. They created a drink called the Pink Pony that you can grab now at Crazy
Yeah.
Horse. It's a lemonade, a vodka lemonade, just like I like it, with a little bit of watermelon juice. Oh, it's so good. Everything's good when you mix it with Atoll Vodka. Pick it up at mashandgrape.com.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems, ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.